Every Wrangler owner learns this lesson eventually. You skip a few small accessories, then mud ruins the carpet, the sun cooks your seats, and the first time you get stuck on a trail you realize you're completely unprepared. Here are 10 Jeep Wrangler accessories you'll regret not buying sooner. Number 10. All-weather floor mats. This one sounds boring until you're on your knees scrubbing a stain out of carpet that won't come clean no matter what you try. Your Wrangler was made to get dirty. The doors come off, the top comes off, and every time you go anywhere fun, mud, sand, rain, and dust find their way inside. The factory carpet soaks all of it up like a sponge and holds onto it forever. One owner on a Jeep forum said his carpet got so salt-crusted after one winter, it looked like something washed up on a beach. Custom rubber floor liners fix this completely. They're molded to fit every curve of your floor, with tall, raised edges that catch water, mud, and spilled drinks before any of it reaches the carpet. One guy said a whole gallon jug of water leaked during a road trip, and the carpet underneath was bone dry because the liner caught every drop. When they get messy, pull them out, spray them with a hose, toss them back in. 2 minutes. The people who skip floor mats are the same ones dealing with smells a year later that never go away. And the floor is just the beginning. Because the thing that takes even more abuse is something you sit on every single day. Number 9. Seat covers. Muddy jeans after a trail ride. Soaking wet clothes in summer, dog hair ground into the fabric, sand from the beach, kids spilling everything they touch. Your factory seats are losing that fight daily, and you don't notice the damage until it's too far gone to fix. Neoprene or canvas seat covers act like a shield between your adventures and the original upholstery. The good ones fit so tight most people don't even realize they're covers. And when the day comes to sell your Wrangler, you pull those covers off and the seats underneath look like nobody ever sat in them. One owner said his covers directly helped his trade-in value because the dealer couldn't believe how clean the interior was after years of use. Cheap protection for something you use every day. Easiest decision on this list. Now this next one, nobody thinks about until it actually happens. You're bouncing down a rough trail, your passenger panics, and they grab your arm so hard you almost lose the steering wheel. Number 8. Grab handles. The second your Wrangler leaves pavement, everything starts rocking. Side to side, front to back, and your passengers are going to reach for whatever they can find. The dashboard, the door handle, your shoulder, anything. Aftermarket grab handles bolt right onto the roll bars and give everyone something solid to grip. 5 minutes to install, cost almost nothing. Some owners put them on every seat position the day they bought their Wrangler and still use them years later. This feels like a luxury until you hit a dip and your backseat passenger nearly ends up in your lap. After one trail ride with proper grab handles, nobody wants to ride without them. Your friends will actually want to come off-roading because they won't spend the whole trip white-knuckling the dashboard. Quick install, tiny price, everyone feels 10 times safer. Your interior is locked down now. But here's a question that changes everything. What happens when the sun drops and you can barely see 10 feet ahead on a dark trail? Number 7. LED headlights or a light bar. Factory headlights on most Wranglers are just enough to get by on a well-lit highway. Take that same Jeep down a dark back road or a trail after sunset, and you'll realize how little you can actually see. You're driving by faith at that point. LED headlights throw a wider, brighter beam that reaches way further down the road. You go from squinting and guessing to seeing everything in full detail. The difference hits you the very first time you drive at night after the swap. One owner said he accepted poor visibility for years. The week he switched to LEDs, he felt like he was driving a completely different vehicle. And if you want to go further, an LED light bar on the roof or bumper turns a pitch-black trail into broad daylight. People who camp, hunt, or live in rural areas with no streetlights absolutely depend on them. Once you switch, the factory lights feel like candles. There is absolutely no going back once you've seen the difference for yourself. So now you can see the trail. But what about the damage hiding underneath your Jeep that you won't notice until you hear that ugly crunch of metal on rock? Number 6. Rock sliders. Thick steel bars that bolt along the bottom of your Wrangler, right underneath the doors. They do 2 jobs at once. First, they protect your rocker panels from rocks, stumps, and anything that could dent or tear into the body. If you've ever seen a Wrangler with smashed-in panels along the bottom, that's what happens without sliders. Fixing that at a body shop runs into the thousands. Second, they double as a step. Wranglers sit high, especially lifted ones. Getting in and out is a real struggle for kids, shorter passengers, and anyone after a long day. Rock sliders give you a solid step while keeping the underside protected. Some owners try cheap tube steps first. One guy spent $40 on a set, hit one rock on his first outing, and watched them bend into a rainbow shape in 10 seconds. Real rock sliders are thick plate steel that takes hit after hit without a scratch. Protection and convenience in one upgrade. Hard to beat. Everything so far has been about defending your Wrangler, but this next one actually transforms what your Jeep can do. And experienced owners almost always say to do this before anything else. Number 5. Better tires. The tires from the dealer were chosen for one reason. They ride smoothly on the test drive and look good on the lot. They were not built for dirt, mud, rocks, or sand. Take stock tires onto a muddy trail and they spin like you're on ice. Swapping to quality all-terrain tires is like giving your Wrangler new legs. The popular ones grip mud, gravel, wet rocks, snow, and sand while still riding fine on the highway. You're not giving up comfort. You're adding capability the factory tires never had. But tires don't just change off-road grip. They affect braking, rain handling, road noise, and how confident you feel in bad weather. One experienced owner said it plainly. Appropriate tires are the single most important upgrade on the entire vehicle. More important than a lift, more important than bumpers. Ask 100 veteran owners what to change first, and most give the same answer. Tires before everything else. Your Wrangler can grip the trail now, but grip doesn't mean much if the body can't handle what the trail throws back. And the weakest point on a stock Wrangler? The bumpers. Number 4. Aftermarket bumpers. Factory bumpers look fine at a grocery store. Point your Wrangler at anything serious and those thin stock bumpers become a problem fast. They sit low, scrape on everything, and crumple on contact. A good aftermarket steel front bumper gives you a steeper approach angle to climb over rocks without scraping. Most come with a built-in winch plate, which is critical for the top spot on this list. Plus mounting points for lights, D-rings, and recovery shackles. Rear bumpers matter just as much. Many aftermarket rears include a swing-out spare tire carrier so you can run a bigger spare without destroying your factory tailgate hinges. A heavy spare on the stock mount gradually warps those hinges month after month. First comes the rattling, then water leaks into the cargo area. Then one morning the tailgate stops closing properly, and you're staring at a repair bill that makes a new bumper look like pocket change. Upgraded bumpers, front and rear, give your Wrangler real protection while making it look like it was built with a purpose. Now your Jeep has armor, grip, and protection. But there's one problem the factory never solved, and every Wrangler owner discovers it the first time they pack for a weekend trip. Number 3. A roof rack. Wrangler cargo space is limited, especially the two-door. A couple bags and a cooler go in and it's full. A roof rack changes everything. Strap bikes, kayaks, camping gear, or a cargo box on top while the entire inside stays free for passengers. One owner said once he added a rack, road trips went from stressful packing nightmares to just tossing everything up top and hitting the road. For owners who camp, a roof rack opens the door to rooftop tents. Pull up to your spot, unfold the tent on top of your Jeep, and you're sleeping off the ground in 2 minutes. No wrestling with tent poles in the dark, no waking up on a rock under your spine. No bugs crawling in from the ground. You're elevated, dry, and set up faster than anyone at the campsite. Without a rack, you're limited to what fits inside 4 doors. With one, your Wrangler becomes a rolling base camp. We're into the top 2 now, and this next one is the upgrade Wrangler owners obsess over more than anything else. Almost every person who does it says the exact same words afterwards. Number 2. A lift kit. A suspension lift is the most popular Wrangler modification on Earth. Walk through any Jeep meetup or trailhead parking lot, and lifted Wranglers are everywhere. The second you see the before and after on your own Jeep, you'll understand why. Even a 2 to 2.5-inch lift gives you more ground clearance, room for bigger tires, and a stance that makes your Wrangler finally look the way it was always supposed to. You don't need a massive 6-inch setup. For daily driving plus weekend trails, 2 inches is the sweet spot. The key is quality. Cheap kits use stiff spacers that make the ride bouncy and harsh. One forum regular was blunt. A $400 lift is not going to cut it, and the forums are full of people who regret going cheap. Good kits come with proper springs, matched shocks, and control arms that make your Wrangler ride smoother than stock. The shocks alone make all the difference. One owner said he rode in a Jeep with expensive shocks and still preferred his own because his setup was properly matched to his lift height. Pair a solid lift with 33 or 35-inch all-terrain tires, and your Wrangler transforms from forgettable to head-turning at every gas station and trailhead. One couple said getting a lift and new tires was the best thing they ever did for their Jeep. Almost every owner who pulls the trigger says the same thing. I should have done this the day I bought it. And as one 4-time Jeep owner put it, once you start spending on your Wrangler, it never ends. So build smart. Start with a good lift and tires and go from there. All right, the big one. If you skip everything else and only buy one accessory, every experienced Jeep owner alive will tell you to make it this. Zero debate. Number 1, a winch. A winch is the single most important accessory you can put on a Jeep Wrangler. That is not an opinion. It's the one thing the entire community agrees on without argument. Ask anyone who's been wheeling for more than a year, and they'll say it without hesitation. It does not matter how good your tires are or how high your lift sits. At some point, you are going to get stuck. Deep mud, soft sand, a water crossing deeper than it looked, a ditch you slid into sideways. Something will trap your Wrangler, and nothing you do behind the wheel is going to free it. That's not a maybe. That's when. A winch fixes that in minutes. A good one, rated between 9,500 and 12,000 pounds, mounts to your front bumper. It uses steel cable or synthetic rope, comes with a wireless remote, and pulls your Wrangler out of just about anything. The rule is, your winch should handle at least 1.5 times the weight of your vehicle. And the part people forget, a winch doesn't just save you. It saves the person ahead of you on the trail who got in over their head. You become the rescue truck instead of the one everyone has to come back for. One owner said he has 2 trail-ready Jeeps, and both carry winches because they've used them on nearly every trip. Sometimes for themselves, sometimes helping a stranger who would have been stuck all night. Another owner put it simply, a winch is like insurance. You hope you never need it, but the one time you do, nothing else can replace it. Picture being stuck 20 miles from the nearest road. No cell service, nobody is around, sun going down. All you can do is sit and wait and hope someone shows up before dark. That's not a fun story to tell anyone. That's a nightmare you could have avoided for a few $100. Get a winch. Get it first. You will absolutely never regret it. 10 accessories, all backed by thousands of real Wrangler owners who learned the hard way. You can grab them now or buy them later after a bad day teaches you the lesson. Either way, you'll end up with all 10. The only question is whether you learn the easy way or the expensive way. Before you add your next Wrangler upgrade, ask yourself one thing. Which of these accessories would have saved you the most trouble? Drop it in the comments. And if you want smarter Jeep tips like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video.